The funny thing is, this is very important because a lot of people believe that if you have a startup or a very young company, you can't get a loan from a big national bank. And in today's conversation, we're going to debunk that myth, all right? So I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sir Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the top 10 largest startup business loans for a fair or poor credit from big national banks. Before I get into the actual rankings, I want to say one thing. This video will focus on startups and very young businesses. I'm speaking up to 18 months old, okay? So to get a startup business loan from any of the big banks I will cover today, you need to do a few things. Please take care of the EIN. You want to get your confirmation letter from the IRS ASAP. You want to have a legit business, right? You want to shy away from those sole proprietorships. You want to have a legit business, a business that is divorced from your personal affairs, operationally, legally, and financially speaking. Please give me a business plan, all right? I'm not talking about the kind of cheap business plan you get on Fiverr or Upwork. I want you to draft or have someone draft a compelling, solid business plan for me. You want to think about solid projected financial statements, very important, especially sales figures and cash flow statement data, right? You want to wow, you want to impress the banker, so you really need to be very careful about what kind of data you are projecting out there. And it's very important to start from your current bank. So when we're speaking about getting a loan from a big national bank, that bank might be your current bank. So why don't you start with a big national bank where you currently have accounts, right? Business accounts or personal accounts. And remember, something called MPR, multi-product relationship. This is very important. You want to establish an MPR with the bank you are. In other words, you want to open one checking account, one savings account, investment account. The plurality of bank accounts is very important. The more accounts you have with your current bank, the better when it comes to estimating your odds of being approved. Before I get into the actual nitty-gritty, please check out this short video. It walks you through our rigorous approach when it comes to evaluating, estimating, and categorizing startup business loans on this show. Check this out. Number 10, folks, we have MUFG Union Bank. Our score, 7.5 over 10. Here, the maximum unsecured loan is $1 million. Credit score, 725 to 850. They can go as low as 630 if you have an MPR with the bank. Minimum operational history, 12 months. Minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $200,000. Minimum interest rate, 6.85%. PG required? No personal guarantee required. One thing that's very important is that when we speak about MUFG Unit Bank, you have a constellation of business loans. You have term loans, you have business lines of credit, you have equipment leasing, they also have a business diversity lending program. So they lend to startups that are owned by minorities, by women, and by veterans. So this is kind of cool. And one thing I want to say here is that what we love with Union Bank is that they have a great customer service. So whatever question you have, it's just better to start by calling the customer service, and they have a very simplified processing and approval process. Okay, they have multiple financing options for startup and very young companies, and we love the fact that they have something called rate lock. So you can actually have an agreement with Union Bank whereby your rate is not going to go up during the term of the loan. Fantastic. Number 9, folks, we have BMO Harris. Our score, 8 over 10. With BMO, you have the maximum unsecured loan, $1 million, credit score 690 to 850. They can go as low as 625 if you have an MPR with the bank. Minimum operational history, 15 months. Annual revenue minimum, actual or estimated, $250,000. Minimum interest rate, 5.99%. PG required, yes or no, depends on the transaction. So when we speak about BMO Harris, we are speaking about a lender that has a bevy of credit facilities for startups and very young companies. So we have line of credit, we have term loans, we have a big business real estate loans, so the CRE, the commercial real estate loans. They even have they can even fund your dental practice. Okay, if you have a trucking company, they could also fund that. So they really have specialized in the last few years in those what we call the niche industries, and that has been very successful for them. So BMO Harris, our score 8/10. Number 8, folks, we have M&T Business Loans, M&T Bank Business Loan. Our score, 8/10. And here, basically, the maximum unsecured loan amount is $100,000. The credit score will oscillate from 700 to 850. They can go as low as 620 if you have an MPR with a bank. Minimum operational history, 4 months. That's just wonderful, right? Minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $150,000. Minimum interest rates, 5.75%. PG required, no. And so when we speak about M&T Bank, we also look at the catalog, the repertoire of business loans that they have for startups and very young companies. They have business term loans. Fantastic. They have unsecured business installment loans. They have secured term loans. They have owner-occupied commercial real estate loans, so CRE. They also have investment real estate loans. One thing I want to say here is that overall, and this is not just for M&T Bank, but overall, when you are a startup owner or you own a very young business and you want to borrow, you want to have a secure loan, the amount can go up because you are essentially collateralizing the loan. So the bank can go as high as 1 million or even 10 million, as long as you have the asset to back it up, to back up the loan, right? And also the interest rate will tend to go down because the risk is relatively mitigated. Number 7, folks, we have here TD Bank. Our score, 8.5/10. Here, the maximum unsecured loan is $100,000. Credit score is 650 to 850. They can go as low as 535 if you have a multi-product relationship with the bank. Minimum operational history, 12 months. Minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $150,000. Minimum interest rate, 8.50%. And the PG required depends on the transaction. Okay, so when we speak about TD Bank, we are speaking about small business loans and lines of credit for startups and very young businesses. And the cool thing here is that M&T Bank is pretty strong in the Northeast, but they are a national bank. So even if you are in California or Nevada or whatever you are, as long as you have the right relationship with them, they could finance you. And we love the fact that with TD Bank, if you're looking for a loan under $100,000, you can apply online. If you want to go over that, you need to apply in person at a TD Bank branch. Okay, so this is something that you need to know, very important. Number 6, SunTrust Bank, now Truist. So the bank is now called Truist, but in their business literature, they're still going by the name SunTrust Bank. All right, so SunTrust Bank, number 6, our score, 8.5/10. So the maximum unsecured loan here is $250,000. Credit score is 660 to 850. They can go as low as 550 if you have an MPR with the bank. Minimum operational history, 9 months. Minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $100,000. Minimum interest rate, 4.65%, and there is no personal guarantee required. Okay, and when we speak about Truist, the bank, we have a constellation of loans that go from business term loans to SBA loan options to CRE, commercial mortgage. We also have lines of credit. We have equipment and vehicle financing arrangements, and we have XBA export loans. And this is kind of cool, especially if you are, I'm speaking about the SBA export loans, because if your business is internationally oriented, it might be very interesting to have an SBA export loan. Okay, so SunTrust Bank, now Truist, our score, 8.5 over 10. Now, number 5. Number 5, folks, we have US Bank. Our score, 9 over 10, folks. And here we have the maximum unsecured loan, $250,000. The credit score will oscillate from 655 to 850. They can go as low as 575 if you have an MPR with the bank. Minimum operational history, 15 months. Okay, that's 1 year and 3 months. A minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $200,000. Minimum interest rate, 3.99%. And PG required, yes or no, it depends on the transaction. So when you think about US Bank, you have a solid lender that actually offers a bevy of business loans for startups and very young companies. They have the US Bank Quick Loan. That's one of their most popular loan. They have the business term loan where you can get some cash up to $1 million, but this has to be secured by business assets. You have the commercial real estate loan. This is owner occupied or investment property up to $10 million. You have the SBA loans. You have equipment financing. You have the SBA paycheck program, paycheck protection program. This is kind of linked to the COVID-19. But one thing I want to say here is when we speak about US Bank, they are very fast when it comes to disbursing the loans, and they have excellent customer service also. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about the top 10 largest startup business loans for fair or poor credit from big national banks. Number 4, folks, we have here PNC Bank. Our score, 9 over 10. Here, the maximum unsecured loan, $100,000. The credit score will range from 650 to 850. They can go as low as 575 if you have a multi-product relationship with the bank. Minimum operational history, 3 months. This is pretty cool. 3 months. Minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $180,000. The minimum interest rate is 7.95%, and PG required, no personal guarantee required. So PNC Bank also offers an interesting repertoire of business loans for startups and very young companies. They have term loans. This is your classic loans, right? They also have a small business secure business loans. They have small business commercial real estate loans. They have small business vehicle finance loans. So except the small business term loans, all the other 4 loans are collateralized, right? So let's just look quickly. So when we speak about PNC Bank, the unsecured business loans for startups and very young companies, the loan amounts will range from 20 grand to 100 grand. They have a very streamlined application and decisioning process, no collateral required, easier payment processing, and they offer convenient terms. Number 3, folks, we have Bank of America. Our score, 9.5 over 10. Here you have a maximum unsecured loan of $500,000. Credit score, they will range from 650 to 850. They can go as low as 600 if you have an MPR with the Bank of America. Minimum operational history, 9 months. Annual revenue minimum, this could be actual or estimated. Hence the power and importance of the business plan I was speaking about earlier, right? So the minimum annual revenue here, $150,000. The minimum interest rate, 5.99%. PG required depends on the transaction. So when we speak about Bank of America, we have actually also a nice array of business loans. So they have the Business Advantage credit line. We have the Business Advantage term loan. We have the commercial real estate loan, the CRE loans. We have equipment loans. We have secure business line of credit. And we have secure business loans. They even have healthcare practice loans and SBA loans. Okay. Again, here the logic that I delineated earlier applies here. If you secure the loan, then you can get a higher amount. Number 2, folks. We have here Wells Fargo. Our score, 9.5 over 10. Here, the maximum unsecured loan, $100,000. The credit score will range from 675 to 850. They can go as low as 575 if you have a relationship with the bank. Minimum operational history, 8 months. Annual revenue minimum, actual or estimated. We have 10 grand a month, so this is a 120K a year. Minimum interest rate, 4.99%, 4.89% rather, and there is no personal guarantee required. Okay, so with Wells Fargo, they actually don't have a loan per se; they have a business line of credit, and so the revolving credit line will range from 5,000 to 100,000. Okay, no collateral required, and you have automatic enrollment in a free rewards program. And this is great for supplementing cash flow for your startup or very young business. You can expand the business. You can use the money to expand the business. You can also help the business cover unexpected expenses. Okay, and then you have also the Wells Fargo Prime line of credit. This is actually secured. It's a secure line, and you can borrow up to $500,000. But again, this is secured by business assets, and the requirements are kind of higher for this Wells Fargo Prime line of credit. Number one, folks, we have Santander Bank. Our score, 10 over 10, perfect score. Here, the maximum unsecured loan amount is $100,000. Credit score, 685 to 850. They can go as low as 550 if you have an MPR with the bank. Minimum operational history, 6 months. Minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $100,000. Interest rate minimum 6.25%, and there is no PD required, no personal guarantee. So what we love with Santander is that they have a nicely balanced, a nicely diversified array of small business loans for startups and very young businesses. So they have a business line of credit, they have a business term loan, they have business owner-occupied commercial real estate mortgages. They have business equipment finance arrangements. Fantastic. And the cool thing here is that you can use what we love after analyzing this Santander offer is that when you look at the business term loan, guess what? They have a very nice offer because the length of the loan goes from 3 years to 7 years. And if you are a startup, you really need that. You need that cash and you need that time, right? So if they give you 3 years to 7 years, this is pretty cool because it allows you to actually deploy your business model, start making money so that you can repay them. So fantastic. Santander, 10 over 10. Now I have a bonus for you. For those of you who have actually made it so far, fantastic. I have a bonus for you. So we have here Huntington Bank. It's one of those banks that we have discovered in our research, and they have a nice constellation of offers too. So Huntington Bank, our score, 7 over 10. Here, the maximum unsecured loan is $250,000. The credit score will range from 685 to 850. They can go as low as 600 if you have an MPR with Huntington Bank. Minimum operational history, 9 months. Minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $120,000. Minimum interest rate, 9.5%. And PG required depends on the transaction. And when I say transaction, we're speaking about the macro of your company, the geography, the fundamentals. Okay, so it's I would say it's a combo. It's a combination of factors. So when we speak about Huntington Bank, we are speaking about business term loans, real estate loans, business lines of credit, SBA guaranteed business loans. They also have some healthcare practice loans, so dental and vet practice loans. Okay. The cool thing here is that with Huntington Bank, once you contact a relationship manager, they will actually walk you through the whole process. Very simple. And we have another bonus lender that I want to share with you. It's Comerica Bank. We have actually covered Comerica on other shows. What we love with Comerica is that they are constantly close to their customers. This is really good. Our score for Comerica Bank, 6.5 over 10. And the maximum unsecured loan is $30 million. The credit score will range from 700 to 850. They can go as low as 630 if you have an MPR with the bank. Minimum operational history, 15 months. Minimum annual revenue, actual or estimated, $250,000. Minimum interest rate, 4.95%. PG required, no. The reason why we scored Comerica in this category a little lower is because even though they have a high maximum unsecured loan amount, $30 million, Their approval odds, not the odds, their approval criteria are pretty stringent. So, for example, you got to be in business for at least 15 months. You got to be making at least $250,000. That's gross annual revenue, by the way. And the credit score, the minimum is a 700. And even if they can go as low, they can go as low as 630. Okay. So, but overall, Comerica is a solid player. They offer a great area of lending solutions for startups and very young businesses. They have lines of credit, term loans, SBA loans, commercial real estate loans, equipment leasing arrangements, and letters of credit. Fantastic. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about the top 10 largest startup business loans for fair or poor credit from big national banks. Let's just do a quick recap here. Number one, we have Santander Bank. Our score, 10 over 10. Number two, we have Wells Fargo, 9.5 over 10. Number three, we have Bank of America, 9.5 over 10. Number four, we have PNC Bank, 9 over 10. Number five, we have US Bank, 9 over 10. Number six, we have a SunTrust Bank, now Truist, 8.5 over 10. Number seven, we have TD Bank, 8.5 over 10. Number 8, we have here M&T Bank, 8 over 10. Number 9, we have BMO Harris, 8 over 10. And number 10, last but not the least, we have MUFG Union Bank. Our score, 7.5 over 10. And the two bonus lenders that we have added to today's show, we have here Huntington Bank. Our score, 7 over 10. And Comerica Bank, 6.5 over 10. Thank you so much, folks, for your attention. We really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.